What did I say last night, ladies and gentlemen? Back-to-back wins were crucial here, and the Winnipeg Jets absolutely delivered. What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to Recap Reactions for Game 48 out of 82-92. Haha. For the Jets 2022-2023 season, welcome back. This was a 5-3 victory over the Philadelphia Flyers in Philadelphia, and boy, what a game it was. Thanks to the Jets' quick efforts in the first period, getting 3 goals early. That's what saved them in this game. It wasn't a perfect one. At least they got the W. Big save Dave came in clutch at some times. And this was a good team win. They needed to win this game, like I said, in my opinion. Getting a point in this game, it would have been, better than nothing, obviously. But the 2 points here after dropping those 2 games in Montreal and Toronto were crucial. And the Jets came through and absolutely delivered. I really like the way that the forward lines played tonight. Seeing Kyle Connor with Cole Perfetti just was really entertaining, and they played really good hockey, in my opinion. Mark Scheifele as well down there with Ehlers. Ehlers was fantastic tonight and just continues to impress. And I really think he is, without a doubt, the most skilled forward on this team. When you just look at everything he does, he scores, he creates so many plays, the zone entries, it's just never ending with Nikolai Ehlers. The man is absolutely insane. He contributed on so many plays today. Very, very good game from him today. Kyle Connor gets his 24th. Axel Johnson-Fajalbi gets his 4th. He had a great assist in last night's game. Picks up a goal tonight. So really playing well in this road trip. Really playing well everywhere in the lineup lately. And this is just a depth guy that, who would have thought he'd be on the Jets this year? A waiver claim at the start of the year. And he's made a pretty good impact. And I've really liked him as a depth signing and as a depth claim. And, we also see another depth claim in Carson Kuhlman end up getting the game winner for this team. Great goal there. And just, effort everywhere from the forward core. They always are getting equal play from other lines, no matter what the skill is. And I know people don't like Sacramento line, and lately I haven't been liking him either. But the fact that we've got so many subpar guys, and this is even a knock on them. It's just however they play the game and how they play the game, right? It's replaceable NHL talent, but these guys are just playing so well. It's making it so hard to pick really who comes out when Mason Appleton is healthy. Look at the fact that Logan Stanley is almost going to be back. And the defense I thought has played really well, and I really thought that Dylan Sandberg has really earned a spot on this team, but what are you going to do? There's just so many good questions that you're having right now, because if the Jets were terrible, it'd be like, oh, trade these guys, this and that, or whatever. But now they're good. We've got all these issues we have internally with too much talent, and where do we use guys? So I love seeing that, and this was a really good example of that today. I really thought that the Jets just played well, and even though, obviously they allowed 3 unanswered goals there from the Povarov goal, the Hayes goal, the back-to-back Hayes goals in the second and third. So that obviously, tied things up. And the Jets weren't playing their best hockey, I would say, in that second and then for part of that third period. The first period was all really Jets, in my opinion. They dominated that period. It was a great first period. But then I think because it was a back-to-back, that really did have an effect on the type of tempo that they wanted to play tonight against the Flyers. And obviously the Flyers took advantage of the fact that the Jets had played last night, and they came out hot after they had that really good start. And things, did balance out there for a while. I thought the Jets weren't playing the best hockey. It was a little nerve-wracking at times. David Riddick made some important saves. I liked the way that the defense came together at times, but just this team still has problems, right? I think that, we're going to be talking a lot this week and next week about trades. I really think that this team is going to find themselves in the headlines for a lot of these guys. I think Bo Horvat could potentially be a Winnipeg Jet or somebody else on the Canucks for that matter, with the way things are looking like they're going down there on the West Coast. But yeah, I just don't know. This team has just got so many good things going for it, but so many other problems that are starting to emerge, even though they're healthy. And I think that this team is really good, and I think they're underrated still compared to the rest of the top heavy guns out there, I would say. So I think the Jets do need to add. I think, you come out, you win these 2 games, but you drop them to Montreal, I think this team just needs a little bit more up front, just add a little bit juice to it, and we could see the Jets go on an absolute big run. I think when you look at contracts and everything, this is the year to do it, and you see games like this, winning back-to-back games. You look at the standings right now. This was important to stay in that standing race. We're now got 48 games played between the Jets and Stars, and we are tied with points. The Dallas Stars right now are first still because of the percentages and all that. They are 28-13-7. We are 31-16-1. We are one of the second fastest teams to get to 30 wins. The Jets are for real. They need to add. This is the all-in year. You know, you go over and you look at cap friendly, and you see the contract situations. You know, Wheeler will be expiring. He's got one more year left after this year. Pierre-Luc Dubois, you need that whole thing going down. You're going to have to deal with Mark Scheifele as well as coming up soon. You know, just so many things are coming up with this team, and decisions are going to need to be made. You know, Dylan DeMello, Brendan Dillon expiring after next year as well. And then, you know, there's so many questions going forward with the future. The Connor Hellebuck window shutting after next year as well. So what do? You know, I think you go all in. I think you see wins like this. I think you see getting back-to-back wins like this on the road. I think that's really important for this team, especially after dropping those 2 bad losses in Canada to Montreal and Toronto at the start of this East Coast swing. So I think the Jets really need to get back into it. Their next game is Tuesday, and it will be in Nashville before they finally go back home to play Buffalo on Thursday. So you got to win that game against Nashville right now. I know Nashville's kind of out of it in the standings right now. They're 22-18-6. They're more of the wild card race, definitely not contending for a spot where the Jets are right now. So you need to win that game against that Central Division team. You need to get those points. Those are always crucial when you have Central Division matchups. Doesn't matter where they are in the standings. That's a big one. Get those wins. That'll be very important. And then you go back home, and then it really starts. Win the homestand. You got to stay well above 500 on this homestand. Get those points. Keep going with Dallas. Things are going well, even though there are problems, obviously. But getting wins like this, outlasting a team on a back-to-back is important, and that's what the Jets did. David Riddick came in and played good hockey, and I think that this will carry good momentum going forward. Like I said, there's a lot of good things right now following this team. There are still some issues with them, but we're going to address that as things get closer to that trade deadline. You know the Jets are going to be active. You know Chevy is going to be looking at stuff. You look at his interviews as of late, his responses to questions going into the deadline. They're definitely not as transparent as we've seen in years past, and I really think that says a lot to his mindset this year and where the team is at, where he might be at with his, you know, job and everything like that with this team, and how he wants to win and with everything like that. So wins like this are important. They keep the Jets in the win column. They keep them in that race, and it keeps them in that mindset of what decisions do we have to make this team a legit cup contender, even more than they already are right now. So I think this win said a lot about this team tonight, being able to bounce back from those 2 hard losses on a back-to-back night and beat those 2 teams in Ottawa and Philly. I know obviously the standings are what they are, and both of them were close to 500, but that doesn't matter to me, because when you drop 2 games, one to a bad team and to a good team, on a really important, you know, stretch of games there, I think it's really important that you win the back-to-back. You rebound well. It says a lot about the locker room right now, where Bonus has these guys at. I just more faith in this team. I put more faith in this team now after wins like this. You know, last year I would never, ever, ever bet on the Jets to win on back-to-back situations. They'd be lucky to even get to overtime, to squeak out an overtime loss if they were lucky. But this year it's different. This year they just have a different mentality. You see it out there, and I love it. Their record is 31 right now. Like, what is their record? I just said it even. 31-16-1. The Jets are on fire. They're a good team, back to being in the win column on a 2-game win streak. It's going to be important, that game on Tuesday against Nashville. They got to win it. Really like the way that, you know, Kyle Connor and all the top guns played today. Same with Kuhlman and all these guys. The depth played well. The top guys played well. This road trip saw guys like Ehlers becoming the most produced player in Denmark. Blake Wheeler got 900 career points. He's on that way to 1,000. I really think that there's a good chance Blake Wheeler will get 1,000 points for this franchise and be the first player in this franchise history to have 1,000 points for this franchise. For any, like, that would be huge for this team. I know you can think whatever you want about Blake Wheeler as the captain. He's still, without a doubt, the 2.0 GOAT. So I want to see him get that stuff. Congratulations to him. I didn't say that in the last video. I didn't see it until in the morning. But yeah, awesome accomplishment there. But that's going to basically wrap up my thoughts on the Jets right now in this 2-game back-to-back and this game in Philly. Great win, 5-3 victory over the Flyers. Hell yeah, and screw you, Ivan Povarov. Stupid move of you to do that, asshole. That's all I'm going to say. Not political. Have a great rest of your day, ladies and gentlemen. With that being said, thank you so much for watching. If it's your first time checking out a video, just subscribe, drop off a like, all that jazz. Really do appreciate all the support as of late. Follow me on Twitter, Instagram. Check out all the affiliate links down in the description below. Peace, love, and positivity as always. Go Jets, go. And I will see you guys in the next one.